Hey, what is going on, guys? This is the SS Ultimate Goku back with another video. And so today I want to talk about something that has been going on the rumor mill for the past couple of days now because I find it awfully suspicious that the dirt sheets are reporting that Triple H allegedly doesn't like the concept of Money in the Bank, or at least the prop of the briefcase concept. I find it really weird that this is coming out now when he's been in charge since 2022 sort of. He's just kind of Vince McMahon gone and then back type deal there in 2022. 2023, 2024, and now we're talking about it right now in 2025, a week before Money in the Bank. Now we know Money in the Bank is going to be around next year, even though it's going to be, I guess, in August, and SummerSlam is going to be in July now, apparently next year. So I find it really weird that people are trying to say that Triple H doesn't like Money in the Bank now all of a sudden. Doesn't make fucking sense, if you ask me. I mean, if he wanted to change it, he could have changed it already. But he didn't. Okay? Some people will say, well, they're not going to do it because executives won't allow it or whatever. But I mean, why wouldn't he try to ditch it for something else there? If he really didn't like it or not like the prop. I mean, if it's true that it's supposedly because of a prop, he doesn't like the briefcase being carried around always or whatever by the briefcase holder. If he doesn't like that, why not change the briefcase to something else? Why not just put the contract on the pole at that point? Or do something different. If that's really the case, it's not that hard, but he doesn't. So I don't really buy this story. Here's my thing about it. I find it very awfully suspicious that this article came out the year that we're talking about possibly LA Knight, winning Money in the Bank, because this is the third consecutive year that LA Knight, is in Money in the Bank. He got screwed 2 years ago. He should have won it then. Didn't win it. Then last year he didn't win it. And now this year it's in Los Angeles, where, yes, I know LA Knight actually wasn't born there or isn't actually from Los Angeles, but the character he portrays is built from Los Angeles. Before someone gets in the comment section and tries to tell me that LA Knight isn't actually from LA. Yes, dipshits, we know that's fucking kayfabe, but most of you people that are probably watching this don't give a shit because, people think kayfabe doesn't matter anymore when it fucking does in wrestling. Not all of you, but a lot. I've seen a lot of idiots in the comment section that try to say that kayfabe doesn't matter anymore. You're a fucking moron if you think that. It does fucking matter. It's important to character growth and storytelling, okay? To stay in character, okay? Even when you're not supposed to, obviously you live your life and whatever, but when you're on camera, you should be in kayfabe. You should be in character, Okay? Um, you know, it's kind of obvious. But and I've said it before many times, I'm not a big fan of them being interviewed and trying to not be in character when they're in interview phase. I want them to actually stay in character as much as possible. Um, because that's how it should be, and that's what LA Knight does. LA Knight is in character of being from Los Angeles there. And so Money in the Bank is in Los Angeles. LA Knight, the character that he portrays being from Los Angeles, it makes sense that he would win Money in the Bank in Los Angeles. Okay? His adopted hometown, if you will. But I find it really weird that all of a sudden this whole Triple H business comes out when we're talking about possibly finally giving LA Knight the contract. Okay? Now, do I think he's going to win? Probably not. I hope he does. I mean, I have zero confidence right now in WWE actually making the right decision because they didn't make it 2 years ago and they didn't make it a year ago when he was red hot. He was way better than Jey Uso. Okay, Jey Uso didn't start doing yeet until after LA Knight started doing yeah. Okay, in WWE because obviously LA Knight was doing it as Eli Drake in TNA and NWA. Okay. But you know, people still try to say that I'm still pissed off that there are people out there that try to say that Jey Uso came fucking did it before fucking LA Knight. You fucking are dumb. Okay? He didn't do it before LA Knight. Okay? LA Knight was doing yeah way before Jey Uso started doing yeet. Just because he was in the company longer doesn't mean he started doing that before LA Knight. LA Knight was doing his catchphrase before Jey Uso was. That's fucking facts on motherfucking facts. Okay? But you gotta talk you gotta talk to these people that make comments and make these comments because they exist in the IWC. But again, I find it very, very weird and awkward that the Triple H thing came out when we're talking about LA Knight possibly winning the contract. It's like they're trying to steer people away from possibly LA Knight winning. Because they're basically trying to put feelers out that, oh, Triple H doesn't like this. Triple H doesn't like the briefcase concept. He doesn't like it, so that means LA Knight shouldn't win this, right? That's what they're trying to tell you. They're trying to be like, oh, LA Knight, you don't want LA Knight to win this because Triple H doesn't actually like it, ladies and gentlemen. So this is actually a downgrade. Just fucking stupid shit, man. I'm already pissed off with a lot of the bookings that Triple H says. Some people try to say that I'm biased towards WWE over AEW. Okay. Which is far from the truth. The reason why I've been pissed off at AEW is because of the stupid shit they did to CM Punk. I had no issues with the Young Bucks until they fucking opened their big fat fucking egomaniac mouse and fucking stuck it with Punk in the locker room, as we all know. Never had an issue with them until then. What else? But yeah, that's my whole thing that's my gripe with AEW and they're about to put the title on Hangman Adam Page again, which is a dumbass idea because he doesn't draw at all. Like, Like that's fact. He was the worst drawing champion that AEW had. Okay, that's facts. Some motherfucking facts. Okay, but we're about to have him as champion in AEW again because again, uh, they always book the wrong people to win the title most of the time. You know, you got someone like Bobby fucking Lashley right there who should be the champion. I mean, Lashley is a fucking was amazing as WWE champion, but of course AEW doesn't like big guys being champion. And I don't want to hear this age argument for Lashley because fucking the dude is ripped as fuck and looks still like he's in his late 30s. Okay? Um so I don't want to hear that Lashley shouldn't be the champion in AEW because he factually should. Um but you know, they're gonna fuck that up by fucking, you know, putting him as champion because it's in Texas, right? You know, it's in the freaking. We're getting a little off track, but you know, getting a little off track. That's for a future video, I think. If it's worth me wanting to talk about it more. But anyways, this whole thing about Triple H and the Money in the Bank. I think it is a little freaking sketchy thing that they're doing right now to try and degrade LA Knight's pending victory, because I think there's a possibility. I don't know for sure. I'm personally thinking WWE is going to screw it up, especially since it looks like the final member of Money in the Bank is going to be CM Punk. I hope it's CM Punk, obviously. Being a Punk fan. But because Seth is in it and Punk is in it, potentially, that could create a rift on LA Knight winning it because, you know, if the crowd knows that Punk is in it, you know, will that, what's it called, kind of, you know, lessen the blow of LA Knight, you know, crowd reaction to winning because CM Punk's in it. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of my worrisome of Punk being in the match. You know, and then of course, obviously, the stuff they've been doing with LA Knight the past couple of months. He lost to Jacob Fatu at WrestleMania, and then he got pinned in the Fatal 4-Way match, which was fucking dumb. You know, LA Knight should not have eaten the pin in a Fatal 4-Way match. I thought they were doing that so LA Knight wouldn't have to get pinned, and they were going to have Damian Priest get pinned instead. But no, LA Knight, got pinned. And then, of course, the first SmackDown after Backlash, he gets pinned by a newcomer. And yes, I know he isn't a newcomer in wrestling, obviously. But in terms of WWE, he's new. And he loses to him. Like, I'm like, are we fucking dumb here? Okay, you know what I mean? You know, like, what the fuck are we doing with LA Knight? You know what I'm saying? Just dumb shit going on. And, once again, we're looking at this whole thing of LA Knight is beating guys. He's only able to beat guys that don't matter. He's not beating any of the top tier guys. And that's my fucking problem with Triple H's booking. Okay, LA Knight isn't being booked correctly. I mean, he's beating guys like Shinsuke Nakamura who are irrelevant. Okay, let's face it. Sorry, Shinsuke Nakamura, but it's a fact. You're basically a jobber at this point. Shinsuke Nakamura is a jobber, basically. Okay, fucking Escobar, fucking. I think he beat Andrade, which Andrade doesn't really matter at this point. Like, what has he really done? You know what I'm saying? You know, this is what they're doing. He's beating guys that are irrelevant. Okay, that don't matter. okay, in this equation. They're talented wrestlers, but they don't matter, okay? LA Knight hasn't beaten really a definitive guy since Logan Paul. And Logan Paul, I would even argue, isn't a fucking relevant guy either, because guess what? Logan Paul is most likely never winning the damn world title, because Logan Paul is a part-timer, okay? He is a part-timer, though. He doesn't wrestle all the time. So, he doesn't wrestle all the time, and he's not really that relevant, okay, in terms of what he does in the wrestling ring. He's, does his prime shit. He does all that other fucking shit, in his off days. So he's not wrestling all the time, okay? So the Logan Paul match doesn't matter. The best guy he beat was AJ Styles at WrestleMania 2 years ago, okay? That was his best. That's the best thing he's had, okay, in terms of a decisive win, okay? That's the best thing he has had so far, okay, in terms of a decisive win, okay? He hasn't had a decisive win against somebody that matters, okay? That is the problem with LA Knight's character, is he hasn't defeated anybody that is significant enough and worthy enough, okay? That's what he needs to do, and this is what Triple H has not done with LA Knight. He's already over. He's still over. The problem is they need to elevate him further from where he's currently at. He was red fucking hot 2 years ago, and they did nothing with it. LA Knight kept fucking doing what he had to do to keep it relevant. But again, there's only so much you can do, okay, as a performer. I said this before. There's only so much you can do as a performer. Braun Strowman had what? A 3-year run of fucking huge popularity from 2016 to 2018. Okay? Hugely popular with the fans. Okay? WWE did nothing with it, despite Braun continuously getting over, fans loving him, cheering for him all the time, wanting him to be the Universal Champion or the WWE Champion. They gave him everything. They gave him Monster in the Bank. Did nothing with it. Fucking gave him everything from the kitchen sink, and WWE still did not make him champion because they were too obsessed with Roman Reigns, okay, of being the new John Cena, okay? And in LA Knight's case, WWE are just like, we'll wait a little longer, because we got other people that we want to put over. It's just fucking dumb, man. It's just like, you got a guy, this guy is a top guy, and you're not doing anything. This whole youth movement of giving the, and that's a problem too. It's just like experiments. Jey Uso winning the Rumble was an experiment, okay? Priest winning Money in the Bank 2 years ago over LA Knight was an experiment, okay? And what I mean by an experiment is like they want to see if this guy can be world champion, okay? Not necessarily if he can be a long-term champion, but they just want to see what he can do, okay? And that to me is not a world champion. Okay, when Priest was the champion, it was a test run more than it was him earning that right to be world champion. Okay, it was more of a test run. Hey, we're going to give you this title for a couple months because we want to see if you can be a long-term champion, for a long time. Rather than it be, okay, you're winning this damn title because you fucking deserve it and you are the guy right now. That's the fucking problem with the world title. That's the problem with the Money in the Bank. That is a problem with the product right now, is that they are trying to make champions rather than the person being the champion. Okay? Tiffany Stratton when she won the title, was she the champion? Was she the champion? Can you say Tiffany Stratton right now is the champion? No, you cannot. You cannot say that she's the champion. Okay? Because it's an experiment. It is an experiment. Priest winning it was an experiment. Tiffany Stratton winning it was an experiment. It wasn't about, okay, I 100% believe you're the champion. I'm going to say it right now. I hope Alexa Bliss wins Money in the Bank. Because Alexa Bliss has not been champion since 2018. Okay? She's not been either of the women's titles since 2018. Okay? And Alexa Bliss, okay, could elevate that title because she is world championship material. She is world championship material with her character work, with her ingrading her characters, you know, through the different eras and the different times and all that stuff that she's done. She deserves it more than anybody in that Money in the Bank contract. Any of those women, like, I'm telling you right now, if they give it to the new person, that's it just proves my point. If they give it to, I forget who the new person is that's in this, but if they give it to the new person, that just tells me that it doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter because they're just giving the title, they're giving the contracts, they're giving the rumbles, they're giving it to people that are new and hoping that it will stick as a long-term solution. But that's not how shit works. It has to be natural. Okay? It has to be a natural occurrence. I'd give the women's briefcase to Alexa Bliss, and I'd have her cashing in on Tiffany and have her win the title. Because you could believe that. You could believe in you can believe in AJ, god damn it. You can believe in Alexa Bliss being the champion. All right? LA Knight being a newer guy in WWE, you know, winning that title. You know, for months you can have him carry that briefcase. You can have him carry that briefcase, have various feuds with other guys, you know, bigger guys, bigger, you know, established stars that can elevate him further into where he needs to be and then cashing it in, you know, whenever he decides to cash it in, which probably be closer to WrestleMania. Okay? That's what needs to happen. Okay? But yeah, this Triple H Money in the Bank rumor, just fucking dumb. Like, I don't buy it. Don't fucking buy it. Don't care. I think it's stupid. I think it's a dumb rumor, and I think it's just to try and swerve people about LA Knight winning the briefcase. So that's all I got to say. I'm out. I'm the S. Ultimate Goku. I'm out of here. Peace. With everybody saying LA Knight. Yeah! Future Money in the Bank winner, hopefully. Yeah!